Hello and welcome back to Dreamy Mood ASMR. I've been very excited for this year's Met Gala because the theme combines two of my favorite things, fashion and art. So the theme for this year is fashion is art. And I feel like my excitement was warranted because there are so many beautiful and interesting looks, and so I thought it would be fun for us to look at them together and also take a look at the specific pieces of art or art movements, pieces of fashion that inspired the looks. So we're starting here on one of my favorites. This is Emma Chamberlain. Her dress is Mugler and she's got these really cool chopard earrings. Looks like pretty pale yellow diamonds. And I've got Art V queued up so we can easily look at lots of different pieces of art movements. We're on the Van Gogh page right now because I'm pretty sure Emma's look is inspired by his painting style, but not necessarily a specific painting, I don't think. But before we start scrolling through the looks, I wanted to read you the definition of the theme, which is from the Met's website. I also made some predictions. You can see it's time locked. The Met Gala was May 4th, later in the day, and you can see that I was adding to it at 2 a.m. I was thinking about making a video just with predictions, but I ended up not really having time, so this gala is raising funds for the Costume Institute in general, and also for the new specific exhibit, which is called Costume Art. Exhibition. The exhibition is costume art, and the gala dress code is fashion is art. So they're a little bit different. So the exhibition itself is described by the museum like this. The Costume Institute's Spring 2026 exhibition explores depictions of the dressed body across the Met's vast collection, pairing garments with artworks to reveal the inherent relationship between clothing and the body. So the exhibit has that special focus on the body, and from the pictures I've seen of it, there are a lot of really cool depictions of different body types, very diverse. There are some things I want to show you some of the pictures in this preview of this book, but they keep glitching. So that is the exhibit theme, but for the gala itself, this is what the Met website said. I actually couldn't find this now that we're past the gala, but I know I copied and pasted this right from their website. The gala dress code will be fashion is art, inviting guests to express their own relationship to fashion as an embodied art form and celebrate the countless depictions of the dressed body throughout art history. So basically, there are two things that the Met was inviting guests to go for with the dress code. one, express their own relationship to fashion as an embodied art form, or two, celebrate the countless depictions of the dressed body throughout art history. So it really leaves a lot of room for interpretation, and I think that led to a really wide array of looks, which I think is really fun. So when I was making predictions, I bolded the ones that I thought were most likely, and I was thinking that paintings were gonna get referenced highly, especially Impressionism I bolded, and then I was thinking the Dutch Golden Age. Definitely we got a lot of Impressionism. I don't know if we got much Dutch Golden Age, which is like Rembrandt. I think I wrote Vermeer as Dutch Golden Age. I also bolded a specific painting title, Madame X, which got referenced by at least 2 people, so I was right on that. And I said especially Monet, Degas, and Sargent for the Impressionism. I think we definitely got some Monet and Sargent. I don't know about Degas. You've probably seen his paintings even if you don't recognize his names. He did a lot of paintings of ballerinas in the Impressionistic style, and they're still all very popular. Some other things I was thinking we would see are pop art, especially Andy Warhol or Keith Haring. And I know that Sabrina Carpenter performed at the gala and she was wearing an Andy Warhol print dress with, I think it was Marilyn Monroe. I wrote that I would love to see a Trompe l'oeil inspired look or two, which means trick the eye, and there definitely were at least a few. Also bolded that sculpture seems like an obvious choice. Marble and metal statues, which I think we saw both of, definitely. Heidi Klum has a really committed marble statue look. I'm pretty sure Anok was going for a metal statue look. Some more things I bolded, or I was thinking tapestry. And collage. Definitely some tapestry. Oh. I don't know if we got anything that looks that collage-y. But yeah, also wrote down like maybe we'll get some film references. Japanese woodblock prints. So I had bolded Impressionism, Dutch Golden Age, and Renaissance art, like Raphael, Botticelli, because I think these are just very in the public consciousness right now, as is individually John Singer Sargent. So at least 2 people had Madame X inspired looks. I was actually thinking that maybe a Kardashian would do it, but most of them, I think they went more like sculpture reference, and then Kim did more of she wore a famous piece of fashion that I would say definitely plays with like the body being expressed in art and fashion. So let's get into some specific looks. I thought we would just look around a few different website roundups, and then I have on a piece of paper a list of like 20-30 looks, so if we don't come across them naturally, I'll look them up. Which one should we start with? Well, we can go back to Emma's. So here on this Vogue page, which is like see every look, we'll go down to Emma and then let's scroll back up. So I absolutely love this look from her. We've got a bunch of real paint here on her dress. You can see it's applied thickly, impasto. So I imagine it took a while to dry, even if it must be acrylic. And I saw somewhere that she's referencing Van Gogh. This doesn't look like a specific painting to me, but definitely looks like his color palette, some of his favorite colors, and his really thick, heavy impasto brush strokes. So let's go to his page over here on ArtV. I'm pretty sure it just gives you random paintings, or the order is random. Oh, here's irises, which I think Charli XCX has a resin iris on her dress that is Van Gogh inspired, so I'm sure we'll see that as we look through. Ooh, that is a pretty still life. It's fun to look through a really famous artist's broader collection of work, because I'm so used to seeing his most famous pieces. It's fun to also see other pieces. But should I look up sunflowers? Oh no, there are like AI versions. Let's go straight to Wikipedia. So I think Van Gogh got more into painting flowers later in his life, if I remember correctly. So this is post-impressionism. Let's see. And there are a bunch of variations. Something I think is so interesting when I've been looking at paintings and art now on my own, outside of an art class or an art history class, is how many artists painted a ton of versions of the same composition or same idea. I don't remember learning much about that when I was in school, but it's fun to see Oh, this one is so cute. I haven't seen this one before. But it's cool to see that so many artists have done the same, different versions of the same idea or composition. Because I feel like that's given me license to do the same thing. Or not license, but I guess just the idea. Oh, some artistic lack of clothing. So yeah, it's fair. His paintings are so vibrant and animated. I was at a museum kind of recently, and Van Gogh self-portrait, and one of his self-portraits was there, and it had the biggest crowd of anything at the museum. It was at the Norton Simon Museum, and there are other really famous paintings so close to whichever one they have there. But there was just consistently a really big crowd around his self-portrait. It's kind of easy to see why. And in person, he was even more vibrant and electric and energetic. It was almost too intense, and I didn't even get that close to it. So the way he uses color and line, like how he's placing the lines, has so much energy. And I really like the way it's seen here in this dress. I read too that the sleeves here, can you see these tassel things? Are they called tassels? The strings, these long strings. I read that this is a reference to some famous Mugler pieces from the runway. The Vogue website crashed and took us down to number 222 of 255. And look, we've got a Japanese woodblock print jacket. That's that very famous, what's it called? I think if I search Japanese woodblock print wave, it will just come up. It's really famous. This one. The Great Wave of Kanagawa by Hokusai. I wonder if he has an artist page on ArtV. Probably. Hokusai. Lots of drawings. I saw some of his landscapes for the first time recently outside of the wave painting, and they were unbelievably pretty. Maybe I should search his name in the landscape. Here are some of them on the Art Institute of Chicago's website. It's the ones that are green that really do it for me. Like, that one, I think there's like ones with waterfalls. A tour of waterfalls in various provinces. There's a specific one that I'm picturing in my mind's eye. I don't know how to find it easily, but this one is pretty similar. So pretty. So that is Andrew Schafer and Daniel Benedict. This seems likely, but that it's an art print as well, but I don't recognize it. Interesting, when it crashed, it pulled me down. Okay, so why don't we just start looking through En Vogue's See every look from the red carpet. So here we have Rihanna in this beautiful, it's kind of a bronzy gold, a little bit grungy looking, and I'm pretty sure I saw a clip of her saying that her look was inspired by an oyster. So her look inspired by an oyster. I don't think this is referencing anything. I think this is a new piece of artwork. But look at how intricate that is. That's crazy. Oh, we got some face jewelry, some stones glued there. Cool. Is that a headpiece or is something on her hair like a coating? Whatever it is, it's very pretty. So yeah, a new piece of art, not necessarily a reference to anything. That's one of the things I like about the theme so much, is it really gave people a lot of room to do a bunch of different things. She's in Maison Margiela, Glenn Spiro, Fred Leighton, and Jennifer Behr. And here we have A$AP Rocky. He is in Chanel and Codignato Archive Jewelry. I saw a picture of him with these necklaces and they looked crazy. Let's see if we can just find them. Crazy and cool. I remember thinking they were gigantic, but it could have just been the picture. A$AP Rocky. Let's see if a necklace brings it up. And let's copy this, because I have my my default search set to DuckDuckGo at the moment, but Google is actually much better for image search, I've realized. So let's see if this brings it to us. There we go. immediately we see the necklaces. Ooh. Closer look at A$AP Rocky's jewelry for the Met Gala, produced under his own brand, Pave Nateo. So he's teaming up with the historic jeweler maison Codignato. The rap icon proved that his custom accessories deserve an immediate zoom in. I agree. Let's see the zoom in. Oh, it's on Instagram. Not loading. I can't look at it on Instagram directly because I don't have it downloaded. I don't use Instagram lately, which is tough for if you want to look at jewelry, which I do, because a lot of jewelers use it as their kind of their primary promo space, and I've noticed that a lot of small jewelers that I'm interested in lately don't even have an email list to announce new collections or back in stock, and instead they use Instagram stories. But my Instagram algorithm is kind of cursed, so I just can't be on there right now. I don't know, I tried a bunch of things to fix it, and none of it worked so far, so even if I downloaded it and looked at it, I would have to edit the video like crazy to make sure you don't see the weird stuff it's always trying to show me. Okay, so I think gigantic is the case. Oh, this does look Renaissance jewelry inspired to me. Renaissance or Middle Age is the cross in the back. Which is very now. And then there's this cool, is it a calavera specifically? Kind of looks like a sugar skull, but I don't know, I wonder what that is. Maybe it's enamel, the green material there. He's got a pomegranate purse. Is that Chanel? Chanel has had some really fun, whimsical purses that are kind of impractical, just beautiful, decorative purses. They had such a cool one for their spring 2026 runway. I actually kind of want to show you. It's not Met Gala related, but oh yeah, I mentioned in a previous video that Chanel had a Monet inspired, what looked to me a Monet inspired runway collection, and that would be for this fall and winter, so after their spring summer. But and I mentioned it because I thought maybe we could look at it in a video, but when I looked into it, I think it was just more the set that looked Monet inspired, so I felt like it was not quite enough for a video, but it was very pretty. And their spring summer set was also extremely pretty. This is the set, isn't that crazy? This is a real physical space. Gorgeous, amazing job done by whoever did this set design. Stunning, and I feel like it looks kind of unique for going for a space theme. Yeah, here are the two bags. It's this constellation bag. So pretty. Very impractical. I'm sure it costs an arm and a leg to but if I had an infinite budget, I would buy this impractical purse. Was that pomegranate theirs? Let's see. Wait, is it the ready to wear? Ooh. Whoa. Oh, I swiped away just as I think I saw something that looked really similar. I think that's the same bag. Because look at the strap, it's very Chanel with the woven, probably leather through the chain. And A$AP Rocky, I'm pretty sure that's the same bag. See the same chain. So it says he's wearing a custom Chanel suit. This, he's wearing a one-of-a-kind cigarette box handcrafted by New York City Brianny Raymond in collaboration with his new brand. At the center of the cracked piece is an 1880s antique Byzantine medallion that added an artistic element. So it's saying that this is an actual Byzantine medallion? I was gonna say, is it a religious scene? Because that looks like a halo, but that's a crown, I think. So, is that in his stack? Maybe it's under his coat. Here the Instagram embed worked, or maybe they screenshotted. He's got a ton going on, or maybe this is the Chanel outfit. Ah, it's a bracelet. The box is a bracelet. So he's wearing a little piece of art there. He has so many pieces on. Okay. I wonder if I can show you the set easily while we're on this page of the Chanel show. We need like a wide shot. It's the floor and the colors used that look very Monet. I think it's intentionally Monet. It's not a coincidence or runway. Let's see, someone must have written up something about it. Let's go to Google Images. this also refreshed me at the bottom of the page. Oh, I guess I was remembering wrong, maybe? I could have sworn that the Chanel one was also Monet inspired. But Dior's runway show was apparently Monet inspired. So here it's very clear. They are going for being inside Monet's garden with all his water lilies. Oh, that's so fun. Water lily inspired heels. Getting back to the Met Gala. The Met Gala runway, or red carpet I mean, is a green carpet, and this looks super Monet to me as well, or at least impressionistic. Like there's a specific painting. I think it's just called Weeping Willow. No, it's a different one that has a Weeping Willow in it. It says here that he painted 10 Weeping Willow paintings by 1919. Kind of looks like it could be one in the background. When we were flipping through that Monet art book on the channel, I'm pretty sure I wondered aloud if it was a Weeping Willow in one of the paintings and if they had those in France. And it was, and they do have them in France. I believe I looked it up. Wikipedia said that weeping willows are native to China, but are found in some other places, including parts of Europe and in the American South, which is where I've seen them before. I wonder if let's just see. I think I want to look it up. I think I'm gonna do that and come back to this tomorrow, but for you it will be in 1 second. Okay, so it's the next night, and I looked up to see what the set designer, space designer, I'm not sure what you would call it, event designer, what their inspiration was for this, and they actually said it was Renaissance inspired. Also, the carpet is hand painted, which is cool. It's painted to look like pale bricks with grass growing up in between the cracks. But I'll show you a Monet picture that made me think they were drawn kind of specifically from some of his garden paintings. is... Okay, this is The Water Lilies, Clear Morning with Willows. A very long painting. But the leaves coming down and the colors, it just reminded me of, the red carpet reminded me of this. It looks similar to me, but they said it was Renaissance inspired. I'm used to the Renaissance art that I've seen looking being super high contrast. I kind of like this. This is just a random sampling of Renaissance art. I have to keep it on a still part of it though, because so many of the Renaissance paintings are depictions of things in the Bible, which is actually pretty intense, and I'm not sure I can show some of the stuff on YouTube. But the Renaissance is also hundreds of years long, and I'm sure there are thousands upon thousands of paintings I haven't seen. I wish I could have found any specific pieces, but I couldn't find any mentioned. So let's move on to another one of the co-hosts for the night. We have Beyonce in this super cool skeleton gown and this really dramatic gray taupe fur. At what point does something stop being a jacket? Is it a cape, maybe? Giant jacket cape? When I first saw this, I thought it was very pretty, but I hadn't seen the specific piece of artwork that it's inspired by, so let's look it up so I can show you. It's a very cool piece. Maybe I'll just search it. Oh, this article has an extra look she wore. Let's see. I don't think this article has it here, so let's see. I have a couple of articles about the references pulled up. A headline. Let's see, they don't have it, but I know it's inspired by a specific piece. I saw it last week. Let me close some of these. Okay, we got the credit here on an Instagram post, but I don't have to click it because it's in the meta description. Visitor 1944 by Caroline Derriere. So here is the piece. We have this skeleton lady in a glamorous dressing gown. Looks sheer. Seems like she's calling an elevator. It's a lithograph. Caroline, do you hear? And so she is an artist from Louisiana. So I thought it was really cool that Beyonce is paying homage to this lesser known artist, which is not to say she's not known. She has her own Wikipedia page, and she has pieces at big museums, but just less well known than say Monet, for example. So seeing the piece and then looking at her look again made me like it even more. Very cool. Sometimes I wonder when I see big elaborate outfits like this, how heavy is it? Is it super heavy? It kind of looks like it to me. But I guess she did change pretty quickly into that other beautiful sparkly look, which might be a little heavy because of all the sparkles, but probably not as heavy as this. Oh yeah, I saw an article about her wearing she was wearing some giant diamonds on her necklace, but you can't really see them here. Next up we have Teyana Taylor. She is in Tom Ford. I don't know the exact reference she's going for here, but it definitely reminds me of old Hollywood tinsely sparkly looks. Oh, it glitched in. Well, I guess it gives us an even better look at this fun tinsel. It makes me think of the kind of outfit you would see in a picture in an article about how in early Hollywood films sometimes the materials of things people were wearing would catch on fire because the materials were really flammable, but they looked great on camera. But then they had to use like really super bright lights. It reminds me of that kind of sparkly look. Hopefully hers is not flammable. Well, I guess most fabric is flammable in some way, so I guess hopefully hers is not ultra flammable. Tom Ford probably wouldn't do that to her. Okay, now we have Doja Cat, and she is in Saint Laurent. Is there a humming sound? I actually don't know what that is, so I don't know. I will stop. It kind of sounds like almost a white noise machine. So we have Doja Cat in this latex Grecian gown. I don't know what the inspiration is for this one, but I think it's fun. I like the way it's so close to her skin tone, but then it's so different in texture and reflectiveness. I think it looks cool. Now we have Nicole Kidman, who is another one of the hosts. She's in this sequined red gown, and I think this one doesn't have a direct inspiration. I saw a short clip of her where someone asked her about her outfit, and I think she just said she wanted to wear the color red, something like that. And hey, it looks good, and it's fun. I love this deep, rich, like bluish kind of red. Really pretty. Are these sequin square? I think they might be more rectangular, so it gives it a different look. And now we have Tyla. She is in Valentino. What are these cool things she's holding? I don't know what her inspiration is. I want to look it up because I feel like there probably is one. Oh gosh. I love these Vogue pages that have all the looks from red carpet events, but they are Crash City for sure on mobile. Might be better on desktop. Tyla, Met Gala. Oh, didn't she wear that really cool sand dress 2 Met Galas ago? She had to be carried up the steps because her dress was so fragile, it was almost like paper. It's 2026. Inspiration? Oh. Inspiration. I'll copy it too in case I should just maybe look at Google. It's peacock inspired, according to MSN. Oh. I don't really want a summary. I'd rather have something written by a person. Yeah, it was her who wore the sand dress. Oh, here's that sand look. Really cool. And I love the hourglass purse, which went so well with the theme. But yeah, she said on the red carpet to somebody that it was inspired by peacock. Let's see. Oh, and I see it more now in the shape of these. It's like a peacock feather. That's so cool. Are they attached to her? Yeah, I think they're attached up here. And then she's also just kind of not super covered up, so the outfit also feels like it's very much about the body, which goes with the theme. Okay, this is one of my favorites. Here we have Sabrina Carpenter and she's in Dior and Chopard. So her dress is made of film strips, which I didn't notice at first when I saw it for the first time, but then it's obvious when you zoom in. And this specifically is the film Sabrina. So, like her name, it's the one with Audrey Hepburn and Humphrey Bogart, I think. Her love interest in the movie is a lot older than her, and I think it was him. But a classic film, and I just think it's such an amazing, the designer and all the craftspeople at Dior did such an amazing job making it have such great shape and like a real drape and elegance. I think it looks great. I also really like the details, like here we have these hanging something, crystals probably, but it echoes the look of the edge of the film strip. And I love that she's wearing this headpiece. Very old Hollywood, kind of looks 30s. Maybe to me. Looks like something one of the synchronized dancers in like the Gold Diggers of insert year here, one of those movies. Oh, it says Sabrina too. I didn't notice that before. I can't make it too much bigger. But yeah, this is one of my favorites for sure. And I think it works so nicely with the theme too, because she chose to, her and the team at Dior chose to go for a different visual medium than oh, the humming just stopped. Maybe it was a neighbor's air conditioning or something. But she and the team at Dior decided to represent a different art form, in this case film, rather than a painting or a statue, a more uniquely contemporary art form, very new in the grand scheme of things. I saw some people saying too that the dress is reminiscent of an older Dior piece that used film strip in a very similar way and is an iconic piece for Dior, so in that way it also hits on the iconic fashion is art thing, part of the theme. Oh, I just saw again that she's wearing Chopard, so probably maybe they gave diamonds here, but I was thinking crystal because it looks almost like beaded rather than set in anything. But you could bead a diamond, just not done a lot, but you could. Now we have Hailey Bieber, and she's in Saint Laurent and Belle Perron. To me this seems statue inspired, because she has this gold bodice part that looks very much like a metal statue. A lot of statues also have draped fabric like this. Ooh, that's a cool ring. has a center stone that's a really rich, vibrant blue, and then what looks like emerald side stones in yellow gold. That's very cool. I like the little touch of green there. Oh, so now we have Charli XCX. We've got the flower. She's in Saint Laurent. So I saw a clip of her talking about this flower. I believe she said it was made of resin, and it is inspired by Van Gogh's lilies paintings. I don't know if he has a lot of them, or if there's just one or a few. Or is it irises, not lilies? Yeah, I think it's irises. It's like there are 13,000 pieces of art, aka we found nothing, but we didn't want you to have no results. Okay, Van Gogh, irises. His iris paintings are incredibly famous. I feel like these two in particular are very famous. 1890, 1889. I'm pretty sure that is near the end of his life, and as I'm saying that, I notice it says 1890 is his year of death. So at the end here with the florals, I did find myself wondering when I first saw Charli's look why they didn't decide to do a more vibrant color like this yellow for the dress instead of the black. Various other colors too, because when I think of Van Gogh, I think of the very vibrant colors, but he does also have moody colors too. So I wonder what the design process was like. It could just be that she loves wearing black. It could be as simple as that. But a really cool piece of art there on her dress. It's super shiny. Because it's transparent, it's picking up a lot of the black, the tone of the black, and it kind of makes the flowers look dead. Because it makes them look sort of brown. Which is interesting thematically. Because it's taking its inspiration from some of Van Gogh's last works, and he had a troubled time, especially near the end, with his mental health. So I don't know if that's intentional, but I feel like it works. So now we have Cardi B, and definitely a really unique look. I really like this. I love how over the top it is. This is referencing a specific piece of artwork, but I feel like even without seeing it, which we'll look at it in a moment, you can see how the look is interplaying with that idea of the body and fashion interacting, because it has these sort of lumpy, fleshy elements that are her skin tone, but they're making up the dress, and it kind of looks like it's her body extending, but it's in the shape of dramatic sleeves and a big mermaid tail. I saw somebody say that she looks like a Resident Evil boss, and she totally does. If you've never played those games, they're viruses that cause mutations and kind of take people over. And I could see one having this character design. But so let's find the piece. Oh, and it's by Marc Jacobs. Our look. So I have two. So this Vogue article says that the look was generally inspired by the sculptures of Hans Belmer. And the picture they show is kind of dark in terms of the lighting. So maybe let's look and see some other ones. About on his wiki art, you can kind of see the way he is playing with different shapes and kind of has a lot of growths happening. I do have to censor this, I think, and I'm pretty sure I have to censor this. So I just thought that was interesting, and obviously it's super on theme. Now we have Coleman Domingo, who is wearing Valentino and Boucheron. So he's in this brightly colored look. It looks very graphic and modern, and I mean like modern art. So it could be a specific artist, a reference to a specific artist that I'm not familiar with or I'm not recognizing off the top of my head. It also kind of gives Jester to me. It looks like it fits him very well. I like this pin on his waist sash, or is that technically a cummerbund? I don't know, when a waist piece of fabric becomes a cummerbund. I don't know that much about men's clothing. It's always nice to see men having fun with fashion on the red carpet, because I feel like even at events like these that you can be creative with, sometimes guys are still in just kind of a black suit. But Coleman Domingo's not. He's very into fashion, I think. He's always wearing something interesting. We have Io in Chanel. Oh, it's super pretty. Looks kind of Grecian or Roman to me with the draping. Seems statue inspired to me. How fun. I like the way it's, the sash is suspended. That's cool. If this is a specific statue reference, I don't know the exact one, but we're gonna go through those two listicles with the references side by side. So if it's a very specific one, it'll probably be on the list. Now we have Kim Kardashian in Ellen Jones and Whittaker Malum. So this is a vintage piece of fashion, or it could be a recreation, but the designer did it for her, whether it's the actual vintage piece or not. The original one goes down a little more, kind of like shorts. But it was fitted for Kate Moss in the 90s or so. So looks like they altered it to give her more of a bodysuit and half skirt situation. I think this is a cool look. It looks like a statue, but is also referencing an iconic piece of fashion, or not referencing, including an iconic piece of fashion. And I like the way it looks like a modern metal statue, like one that's maybe coated in a colorful enamel, I don't know how they color metal, but kind of like a cocoon's sculpture. Have you seen those sculptures of balloon animal dogs and stuff like that? Let's see. We can look on WikiArt. Maybe it'll have some coon sculptures. Is his name Jeffrey, I think? His first name. I think that's his name. No results. Maybe I'm remembering his name wrong. It is Jeff. So here's one of his giant balloon animal sculptures. The texture, the look of Kim's outfit, it reminds me of the way this looks. And it says here that this is made of mirror polished stainless steel with a transparent color coating. Very modern in terms of art style, and also contemporary in terms of having the materials to make something that looks like this, which would not have been possible hundreds of years ago. So I like that. I like that texture a lot in the piece she wore. Now we have Blue Ivy Carter in Balenciaga and Henry and Henry. Pretty shoes. I saw her on the Met Gala live feed on the actual day, but I didn't notice these shoes. Maybe it wasn't in frame. They're very Cinderella and pretty. Oh, she have a hand chain on? That's cool. Oh, it has a horseshoe. Horseshoe charm at the intersection there. I don't know if this all-white look is paying homage to anything. Definitely very pretty. But we'll see on the other listicles if so, I think. Ooh. Oh, I didn't see this one on the day of. So we've got Serena Williams in Marc Jacobs and Audemars Piguet. Oh, I don't know if that's how you say that. I've read this many times. I don't know if I've heard it said, but that's her watch. Very bougie luxury watch brand. If you're not familiar, it kind of looks like she's wearing their really famous watch. What is it called? Collections. Royal Oak. Looks like a Royal Oak from a distance. Do they have any other watches that look so similar? But you can see this super distinctive bezel shape, and it has screws holding it on there. It's definitely an interesting accessory choice to go with this, what to me kind of looks like an ancient Greek or Roman goddess outfit. And then this watch, which is a luxury watch, but it looks so modern, looks very 80s to me. I think it's a newer watch in the grand scheme of the luxury watch houses. So it might be 80s or 90s. We can look it up easily. (1972). So ahead of its time aesthetically. It has that large, simplified, geometric shape look that was so popular in everything in the 80s. Not everything, but many things. So that's a really interesting choice to be wearing with this look. The mixed metals are fun. Got this metallic dress, and then her shoes are gold. It looks like it wraps up. Kind of makes me think of, is it Hermes? Or would you say like Hermes, the god? What is he the god of? But he has his little shoes with wings on them and so many depictions of him. And the watch is such an interesting choice. It makes me wonder, is she a brand ambassador for them right now or something like that? I like it. It's a cool juxtaposition. She has fun nails, really sharp looking, with these pale crystal accents. That's cool. So we're back to Emma. I think let's switch to looking at the listicles with the artistic references. And then maybe we'll come back to this one with all of them and go through some more. Let's look at this one from Women's Wear Daily, because it has some of my favorite ones. I love Hunter Schafer's, and I absolutely love Madonna's. So we'll start with this one. I love this Madonna one. When I first saw a picture of her on the day, I saw a cropped in picture of her. So this picture is a little bit blurry. But can you see that she is wearing a hat? That's a ship. Let's see if we can find. Let's go to Google because we want an image. Madonna 2026 Met Gala hat. So this gives us a good look at the ship, I think. Can you see it well? So when I first saw this look, I saw a close-up of the hat situation, and I thought just based on that maybe she was inspired by that very famous Rembrandt painting. Rembrandt painting ship. I think it's this one. It has its own Wikipedia page. The Storm on the Sea of Galilee. I thought maybe it was this one. Should I raise my brightness a hair? Rembrandt's paintings are so dark. Got that super strong contrast that he likes. I'm pretty sure I've read multiple times that he's very inspired by Caravaggio, who's known for that super intense contrast between light and dark. And there's another famous ship painting that I'm thinking of, but I can't remember the artist. I don't think searching ship painting will necessarily help me find it. But so I thought that maybe Madonna was referencing that painting because of the veil and the way it's gray and it looks like a storm, and she kind of looks a little bit goth, and it's an intense painting, situation in the painting. But it is not referencing that, it's referencing a different painting I'd never seen, and I think she executed it so well. So let's go back to the wide shot. She's in Saint Laurent and was inspired by The Temptation of Saint Anthony, Fragment 2 by Leonora Carrington. So you can see here she has the ship hat and the fabric is coming off of the ship and it's being held by these ladies who kind of look like handmaidens, and they have this gauzy blindfold over their eyes and they're in these pastel dresses. And then if you look at the piece it was inspired by, it's this broader scene. Then when we zoom in, you can see that the subject here, who Madonna is dressed as, is here in the center with their gauzy gray veil being held up by these handmaiden type figures, holding up a big gold horn, and has a hat shaped like a ship, but it is gold here. I like Madonna's choice to go with the black one. And she is actually holding a horn. It's just to the side in this picture. I wonder if they have it in that. In style one, yes. So you can see the horn here. So her look is a whole group of people, and I think it's awesome. Really well done. I'd never seen this painting before. Her first name is Mary, but I guess she dropped it for her artist name, her stage name, and went with her middle name as her first name. But so it says on Wikipedia she's a surrealist painter. So I just think it's a very interesting reference and very well executed. So now Jenner here in Gap by Zach Posen, and her look very clearly statue inspired. It says here it was inspired by the specific statue, the Wing to Victory of Samothrace, which is at the Louvre. And so it has this similar draping, and I did see a picture of her somewhere. I'm pretty sure she had wings at some point, but wasn't wearing them on the actual carpet. I wonder if it's because they're super heavy. So a statue-inspired look from her. And this one is... oh, it's inspired by the same statue. Yuji Lyrakuo? I tried to look up how to pronounce her name, but was unsuccessful. So apologies if I said that wrong. But she is in Jean Paul Gaultier and is inspired by the same statue. That's so interesting. Very different interpretation. Here the wings are built into her dress and they're at the waist, so a little more abstract interpretation. Cool earring. It's like a wing big climber. I love a climber earring. Yeah, more of an abstract interpretation. Oh, so now we have another one of my favorites. This is Hunter Schafer, and she is in a Prada look inspired by a specific Gustav Klimt painting, Mada Primavesi. So I love this because I think it's a great interpretation of the painting where it looks like a more high fashion version of the look, and I think it looks like a more grown up adult version of this. So we've got this young lady. I don't know how old she's meant to be. To me she looks kind of early teens, but in these beautiful it's like a cobalt violet, slightly pastel, and this pretty teal, lots of soft white, and she has this big bow in her hair, flowers on her dress. So I really like the Prada version that Hunter's wearing, because I feel like it has a lot of the same visual elements and is clearly inspired by it, but it's not a replica or a recreation. This, like, it doesn't look like a kid's dress to me, the one in the way the dress in the painting looks. And I think the bow is really fun. I love how huge it is, and her makeup's also really cute. Definitely a favorite of mine. Okay, so here we have one of the co-hosts. I'm not sure if I'm using the right term, but this is also one of the at least two pieces inspired by the very famous John Singer Sargent portrait known as Madame X. So they probably have it here. So this is a very famous portrait by an artist who is talked a lot about today. John Singer Sargent is a portrait artist. Well, no, he is an impressionist artist, perhaps best known for his oil painting portraits. So, unlike a lot of artists, John Singer Sargent was very successful while he was alive. So he's very commercially successful, and now today he's very critically successful. One of the things that is so great about his portraits is I feel like at a distance it doesn't even really look like an impressionistic piece. Like all the Monets we've been looking at, it's giving you the vibe, but it's not going for hyper-realism. His portraits look pretty realistic, but when you zoom in, you can see how simplified a lot of the things in the picture are. And it's just very technically impressive. So this painting of this particular lady is famous, well, I think in part just because it's very striking, and for the year it's kind of showing a lot of skin. What year is this? Does it say the year? There's definitely a Wikipedia article about this painting. We'll look at it in a second. So it's kind of showing a lot of skin, and the area that draws your attention most is right here because of this super intense contrast between her very pale skin and the dark black dress. And also this has some of the sharpest edges of the painting. For example, if you look down here at these edges, they're all blurry, kind of, because he's using the edges and the contrast to direct where you look. I'm pretty sure I read once that she used a powder to make herself paler in general, not just for this portrait, but it had like freaking arsenic or something in it. Something like that. But so this is actually not the first version of the painting. The first version of the painting had a strap falling down. So it was even, kind of more suggestive and scandalous looking to have that strap falling over. But it was scandalous in kind of a bad way. And people reacted poorly to it. I think it was exhibited somewhere. So Sargent repainted that area and pulled that strap up. So I bet the Wikipedia article will have, I wonder if it will have the version, like an imaging version of the strap being down. Originally, oh, you can see the scale of the painting. Look how big it is. Almost life-size, not quite, but almost. I don't know if there are any pictures or images of the strap being down. I think there are, but I don't know where they are. Painted in 1884. So it didn't go over well. They repainted the strap, but I had this bolded on my predictions because I just felt like someone would definitely do it, because I feel like John Singer Sargent is so popular right now. I just see his paintings so often, and this is arguably his most famous painting, and it's also, like, it's like a serve. She's being provocative and stylish. I think a lot of people today would perceive it like that. So, before we go back to the red carpet picture, let's take a quick notice of the strap here. It's very distinctive. I don't know, it's a floral shape, kind of. It has these alternating pearls. When you zoom in, it's pretty impressionistic. It's not nearly as literal as it looks from far away. When I look at that, I think I'm gonna zoom in and see something highly detailed. But then there's hardly anything to it when you zoom in. So we got the Madam X here, and we'll go back to the red carpet picture of Lauren. So here she's in a very similar dress. Appears to be navy instead of black, but it is possible that maybe the Madam X painting is black and not, or is navy and not black, and it's just hard to tell on a screen. I haven't seen it in person. I think it is at the Met, or was at some point. But, so, very similar. We got the deep V. We got the strap off the shoulder. And it does seem to be very specifically emulating the strap. But I will say it's a little bit of a shame that she has her hair here in front of the strap, the other strap that's up, because then you can't really tell easily that it has one strap down and one strap up, which is very important for the reference. So it might have been more obviously that if her hair had been behind her shoulder there. I mean, you could do an updo like in the painting too, but every time I've seen this lady, she does seem pretty dedicated to having the same look, same silhouette, same hair and makeup for the most part. So maybe she wasn't comfortable with the hair up thing, but putting the hair behind the shoulder could have made the reference more obvious or more easy to understand, because the one shoulder thing is very core to the look and to the story of the painting. Oh, we have Chloe Mai, is that her name? New editor-in-chief of Vogue in the back there. This is also a very famous dress in a different painting. I'm assuming we're going to see that lower in this post. But, so he references Madam X. And I think somebody else referenced it too. Maybe we'll see it in the other post. I was a little surprised to see that it looked like two people had referenced it, because I thought everyone got their look approved by Anna, and I would think that she would want to minimize repeat references, and especially repeat reference of someone who is co-chair, but maybe she didn't care, the co-chair or Anna. Okay, now we have Gracie Abrams in Chanel, inspired by Gustav Klimt's portrait of Adele Bloch-Bauer the First. So when I saw this, I noticed that it seemed Klimt inspired, but I didn't know that it was inspired by this specific painting. This is one of his more famous paintings. So it has all the gold symbols. There are like eyes down here. Some squares. Is it a checkerboard on the neckline? Super pretty. I don't think I've ever seen one of his paintings in person. I don't think so. But I think it's gold leaf, isn't it? Yeah, so to me it kind of looks like it takes some inspiration from it, but is not an exact replica. I think it's very pretty. I really like the chains. Chains cascading down, and then here we got chains as well. The color scheme of the stones looks kind of medieval to me. I think that might be a Chanel thing right now. Yeah, it's very pretty, and she looks great. I like this diaphanous fabric here. It's a really nice contrast between the super soft looking fabric and then this more metallic fabric that reads as being harder and more reflective, and then the literal metal that's hard and reflective. And now we have Rachel Zegler, right? Zegler? No designer credit here, but it says it was inspired by The Execution of Lady Jane Grey by Paul Delaroche. So, yeah, I think I've seen this painting, and it has a blindfold. Yes. I don't know much about this painting. Is this an unjust execution? That's what I would get from the way they're using color. But yeah, interesting reference to this painting. Really striking painting, and I like the blindfold. I just remembered in the Madonna one, her handmaidens have those sheer blindfolds. Are they in the painting too? I don't think so, but it's actually a little hard to tell. Kind of a low res. A little bit low res there. And then they have this very sheer ribbon over their eyes. Okay, so now we have the most literal, I would say, interpretation of a statue. So we have Heidi Klum in custom Mike Merino, inspired by the Veiled Virgin by Giovanni Strazza. So it's this gorgeous bust, marble bust, with this really well done sheer veil on this figure. And she went all out. Very realistic. It's almost like with the eyes open, it's almost a little bit of a jump scare. But it looked great. This looked great in motion too. I saw videos of this. I appreciate how dedicated Heidi Klum is when she wears a costume. And just really well done. I kind of wish they had a video with her, a picture with her eyes closed, but I think we can imagine. The proportions of this are so nice too. It's so balanced. Now we have Sam Smith, who is in Christian Cowan, inspired by Evelyn Brent. Christian Cowan. I didn't see this one. Is this gonna be like a star? Like a Hollywood star that I haven't heard of? Looks like it. Oh, she looks familiar. Wow, what a gorgeous picture. The sheer with the light coming through. How funny, her necklace is kind of on trend for now. It looks like one of those stiff collar necklaces. I wonder if there's a specific look of hers he was going for. Kind of seems like it. It's so specific, like the big feather. Yeah, that's very fun. I'm always finding myself thinking, is it heavy? Look at all the embellishments. Is it hard to hold your arms up? Is this handhold for moral support, or is he taking off some of the weight of the garment? Now we have Ben Platt in custom Tanner Fletcher, inspired by a Sunday on La Grande shot. Is that pointillism? I think so. Pointillism is a painting where if you zoom in, it's made of lots of little points, so a ton of tiny dots. This is a very famous painting. So if we zoom in, it's kind of a low-res painting, or a bit of a low-res picture of this. Let's see if we can get a higher def version. Maybe it's on ArtV. $18.84. Huh, yeah, there's two versions of it. Interesting. There's this version, which is more sketchy. And I think that's what the other webpage had. And there's this version, which I'm more familiar with, and I think this is the more famous version, where it's like 1 million dots. It's made up of all these tiny, tiny points, and I'm pretty sure it took him an eternity to do this. I wonder how long the other version took. Yeah, it says here he devised the techniques known as chromoluminarism and pointillism. So the more final version, that's not a study with the dots, tiny, tiny dots, it's currently at the Art Institute of Chicago, and the smaller study is at the Met. This is fun. It's not a literal interpretation. And they didn't make anyone put 1 million dots on the jacket to do the little figures. Ooh, look at those earrings. I didn't see this one. These long earrings. Those are so fun. It's light purple. Oh, cool purple bracelet too. Looks like lavender jade. Absolutely gigantic. Very glossy too. So this is Lisa Aaron, inspired by Matisse's Dance 1. So we got all these different arms. Oh, is this one where they're in like a circle? Yeah. Didn't he do a bunch of these? The dance circle? Hopefully I don't have to censor this one. It's basically stick figures. Really nice movement and color. Doesn't he have some that are more colorful? Let's see if they have them on Art V or another. If that's Dance 1, maybe the other ones are called Dance 2 that I'm thinking of. Yeah, a lot of his paintings are super colorful like that. He lived till 1954. Lots of artistic lack of clothing. That's probably a little too detailed. But yeah, he lived till the 50s, so a lot of his work is probably not in the public domain. So maybe that's why it didn't come up. So this is a painting series of his. So this one is La Danse. Dance 1. Oh, this is 1909. That one's 1910. So it's like electric orange, blue, and green. Oh, and then there's another one, a mural, with a bunch of panels. And this one is pink, blue, and white or cream. Yeah, This kind of looks like a combination of a lot of them. Like this one is like that really bright orange in La Danse. And then the pink is in Dance 2. And then the blue, is the blue in multiple of them? It's certainly, well, it's the background in Dance 1. It's the background in this mural too. Yeah, it's the background in all of them. So it kind of seems like it's maybe inspired by multiple of them. But that's fun, and I like her earrings. Now we have Angela Bassett. And this is a specific painting, right? So she's inspired by Laura Wheeler Waring's Girl in Pink dress. Super vibrant, beautiful pink. Let's see the painting. Is it not in the public domain? I think I'm familiar with this painting. I think I've seen it before. Okay, so here's this painting. This is at the Met. It says it can't be enlarged, so I'm not gonna zoom in. I don't know if they mean just like for someone to do a print, but we'll keep our distance. And it's a lovely portrait of a lady in a beautiful pink dress. I really like the variety of really soft, gradual changes in color, these pastel colors in the background. It's not on view at the moment. Yeah, I think that's a very pretty portrait too. This is quite a famous portrait. Very beautiful. So we have Angela Bassett in this interpretation. Doesn't really look like a literal costume version, more of an interpretation. Super pretty, fun, and I love how much blush she's wearing. Okay, we have this gentleman, Luke Evans, inspired by Tom of Finland. I am not familiar with that. No reference here. Tom of Finland. So Tom of Finland is a Finnish artist making a stylized, suggestive art. So I don't know how suggestive it gets, but maybe that's why they don't have a picture of it in the article. Maybe it gets a little too suggestive. But I think that's fun. A fun thing to reference. I had not heard of Tom of Finland before. And now we have Amy Sherald, inspired by her own creation, Miss Everything. Amy Sherald, Miss Everything. No picture of that either. Oh, I've seen this before. Oh, she's this. She's the painter. Oh, that's cool. I love her portraits. I think it's what she mostly does. And this painting is, she did it in 2013, it says. So that is very fun. Her portraits are really cool. Amy Sherald. Does she have a personal website? Or is she on, like, maybe whoever her representation is? She has a very distinctive style. I love how flat a lot of her paintings look. And I love the way she uses color and has the more desaturated skin tone. It looks very interesting and pretty. Well, that's the last one on this article, so let's look at the other one for the references, and we'll see if it's all repeats or if there are different ones. Oh, so here they have the Kate Moss wearing the orange. I don't know what to call that. A sculpture outfit. Top jumpsuit, because it kind of has shorts. So they have Cardi B, which we already looked at, and Gracie Abrams, Rachel Zegler's. Here's the other Madame X reference. Claire Foy in Erdem. So she has a strap going off the shoulder. There are more elements to her look too. I find myself wondering what else she's referencing, because the strap's reminiscent of the portrait, but these other elements, I wonder what the thought behind them is, like the sheer veil over her whole face, possibly her whole head, because we can't see the sides, so we don't know. And then there's what looks like a puffer jacket, maybe? An embellished puffer jacket. And so then they have Lauren in her version as well. What did it say here about Claire's? I don't think so. It doesn't, like, give a quote from her, the designer. Oh, Julianne Moore referenced it as well, it says. Well, she has the one strap off in this look. I didn't see her. Yeah, a bit of a minimalistic take. And we have Amy Sherrill and Tom Brown referencing herself, which is fun. Hunter Schafer in Prada. On this one, can I show it this way? Would it look? Yeah, most of the time the websites work better in portrait orientation, but this one seems more suited to the landscape. I love this one. So cute, really pretty. And then we have Kim Kardashian in this sculptural piece. It looks a little different, so I do wonder if maybe they made her a new one, or if maybe they just redid the coating or something. The legs are different. But there are, now that I look at them side by side, there are other differences too. Most notably the finish, which on this one looks more sparkly. This one more just shiny but not sparkly. Oh, Naomi Watts. So we do have some Dutch golden age, which was on my predictions, but I didn't really think anyone did it. So, but this is a Dutch still life by Rachel Rush, I'm not sure how you say that, Ruysch. I love her still lifes of flowers, high drama, great detail, beautiful color. So she has these flowers on a dark dress, and it's Dior. It's fun. Her energy is very fun too. She looks like she's having a great time. Oh, and it says here that the dress is also referencing the house's 1951 tableau final couture look, originally rendered in a light palette with soft pink florals. So it's also referencing an iconic piece of fashion. Can we find that easily? Let's see. According to Pinterest, this is it. So we'll take that with a grain of salt, but it looks about right for what was described. So we've got some Tom of Finland. I can't tell if this gentleman on the right if he's wearing tight clothing or no clothing. But so we do get to see some of a drawing. Now we have Alexa Chung referencing Monet's Water Lilies. I love the bright colors of this, and I love her gigantic earrings, which are maybe that's meant to look like hydrangeas with ribbons. I had this on my list that I wrote down to make sure to look at, because it's very literal, but I thought it was really fun. I love the more electric greens she went with, which are in his paintings sparingly, and she went full out with it. I think it's very fun. Now we have Miss Lisa, again in Christopher Kane, with the Matisse-inspired dress. I they chose a different Matisse than the other outlet did. And it does have that like electric orange, which is very unique looking. We have Madonna's look, definitely one of my favorites. Then we have Kendall's statue inspired dress. This lovely lady again, in her look inspired by the same statue. Ben Platt in the Sunday afternoon inspired suit. Ooh, I hadn't seen this one. So here we have Miles Chamberlain Watson in Kid Super Cubism. Oh, it's probably in Kid Super referencing Cubism. Is that the format? That's the format. So they use this George Brock work there. Let's see him a little bit bigger. Interesting. Is this painted directly on it, I wonder? There's a guy here. Altogether, it reads a little cubist, but not the actual painting. Doesn't look that cubist on the center part. But then here, there's a lot of patterning. Oh, he's holding a sword? Is that what's happening? Or is it called a sword as a fencing sword, but that's more of a stick? Huh. Get super. I wonder if that's a print or if someone painted it, because it's the same figure is there twice. Does he look a little bit different? I think so. Interesting. We have Heidi Klum in her statue look. Audrey Nuna in Robert 1, referencing Jackson Pollock's number 1A. Oh, this painting is oil and enamel. That's interesting. Enamel paint. It does look splattered. It doesn't look that much like this specific painting to me, but it's just because she went full monochrome. And it's on white rather than on this tan. But it looks awesome. And this is beaded. Wow. That has to be hand beaded. Sparkle crystal splatter. That is well done. Shout out to whoever did that at Robert 1. striking. It's kind of even more striking with the bright white backdrop. I feel like it makes it look a little more high fashion. I feel like that works well in a clothing version because it kind of just feels high fashion. And I still feel like her face is a focus when she's wearing it. Like, it's not wearing her, she's wearing it. The black lipstick is very cool as well. So now we have Rosé in Saint Laurent, Schwarzbach, the birds. So she has it. So it's a direct reference. There, it's nice, very simple and symbolist, like the original. And it says here that that motif has been used in multiple Yves Saint Laurent collections. So it's also an iconic fashion element. Alexi Ashmeyer's in Celine, Yves Klein's Anthropometries series, Anthropometries. So it appears to be an abstract depiction of the human body. So it works very well for the theme. Almost looks like a stamp. A hastily done stamp. And then she has a more symmetrical version in her dress. Look at this gigantic bracelet. That's cool. Wonder what that's made of. How does it stay up? Is it heavy? I have questions. It must be hollow, or it would be like a weight. Maybe she's just very strong and it is a weight. Oh, interesting necklace too. Huh, what's that made of? It almost looks like it's made of twisted plastic. Very sculptural, modern. Interesting. And then we have Seth Meyers in 2 spider brooches on a black suit. Looks like either one is silver and one is gold. One is rose gold and one is yellow gold. It looks a little bit pink, but I bet it's the carpet. Oh wait. Oh, I was gonna say, it looks a little bit pink, but maybe it's the red carpet reflecting, but we're on a green carpet today. Huh. It says here that her dress is a spring 2017 Celine dress. Oh, he used paint-covered female bodies as living brushes, pressing them onto canvas. So is this gigantic, or is it like finger paint? I guess I was right to think that it's kind of like a stamp in a sense. Oh, a nice side-by-side of Angela Bassett and the painting girl in pink dress. Yeah, not an exact replica, more inspired by. Angela's is more vibrant, even more vibrant, whereas the painting is so much more soft. I don't know if I would say super muted, but just like very classic pink, pale pink, rather than hot pink. Okay, so that's it for this article, but there are some people we didn't see who I wrote down. So let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there are kind of a bunch that I wrote down that we haven't seen yet. Maybe we should scroll down the Every Look page and see them in this line, because I bet they will be fairly high. I really like the pictures that Vogue chooses. They're usually a really good representation of the look. So going past Emma, we've already talked about Kendall's. Oh yeah, Kylie had a similar look to Kendall's, but she is representing a statue that the draped dress gown is lower. So the corseted top part is a safe for work representation of the artistic lack of clothing on the top of the statue. Which I like. I don't know if she I think she's going for a specific statue. But yeah, interesting that they did kind of similar looks. Oh, it says she's in Schiaparelli rather than in the Gap, Zach Posen Gap, like Kendall. I had this in my notes, the designer name, because I was thinking that people might wear a lot of their accessories, many of which are very artistic, symbolist looking. But I don't think anybody did that. Okay, we have Alex Kansani in Gucci. Her top is kind of sheer, so I don't think I can show it. But she always looks great. I don't know if she's referencing anything in particular, but she does look good. Oh, this is fun. Rachel Sennett in Marc Jacobs. We're going pop art here. I love the green shoe. Oh, it looks like we have a red toenail over the pink tights. I don't know if she's going for a specific pop artist or a specific piece, but it seems very clearly referencing something in that genre. We've got Gracie and Chanel again. Kris Jenner and Dolce & Gabbana. Oh, it looks like on her robe? Is that what this is? It's not a dress really, it looks like more of a robe. She has some statues, it looks like ancient Greco-Roman drawings of ancient Greco-Roman statues. So we have SZA in Bode. This, I don't know what this is referencing, but it looks great. It looks crazy. In a good way. She's wearing this really bright yellow look. these hanging chains. Really fun over the top floral headpiece. Shell necklace, shell bracelets. All these beautiful embroidered flowers. All these little shells. That's cool. I don't know if she's referencing something specific, but it's very pretty, even not knowing a reference. Chase Infiniti. This is somebody I had on my list. Love this. Looks very, very pop art. Such a beautiful dress. She's in Tom Brown. I don't know if she's referencing a specific designer, but oh, it just looks so good. The beading and the sequining on this, it's so pretty. It's so varied. Like, you can see all these different directions and textures of these different beads and sequins. It looks fantastic. She wears a lot of really interesting clothes on the red carpet. I think she's an actress. I haven't seen anything she's been in yet, but I have been enjoying a lot of her red carpet looks. Looks like we've got some emerald jewelry here. Looks very pretty with the bright kind of Kelly green and emerald green in her dress. Love these long fringe pieces here too. Really pretty design. Oh yeah, for now we have Bad Bunny in Zara. He is in aged makeup. Aged up makeup. When I first saw this, he reminded me of Dick Van Dyke in Mary Poppins when he has the makeup making him look older and he's playing different characters. This is a creative take on the theme. It's playing with the idea of the body in different ages. And I thought it was an interesting choice. I had him on my list too. More people should carry around stylish canes, I feel. Underrated accessory. Stylish and good for balance. Now we have Jeremy Pope in Vivienne Westwood. This is an interesting piece. I saw some people talking about it, and the jacket he's wearing it's a famous piece of fashion, and it depicts, well, I guess it's a trompe l'oeil. Basically, it's a trick of the eye kind of thing, where it looks like he probably is that buff, but it looks like muscles. It makes me think of those shirts where it's spray painted and you're wearing a bikini, but an extremely high fashion version of that. It's got all this really complex beading, so many different colors in there. Very striking, interesting look. Daisy Edgar Jones and McQueen and Boucheron. I don't know if this is referencing something, but it's gorgeous. So pretty. Elegant, flowy. Love these earrings. Huge, beautiful, slightly curving diamond leaves. Looks like it's on like a lever back. That's so pretty. I don't know if she's referencing something in particular, but it looks great and she looks great. We have Tessa Thompson in Valentino and Pandora. It looks like they're going for a paint splatter. Really fun, kind of minimalistic, modern look. I love the hand dipped in paint here with what looks like drips if she held her hand straight up or straight down, like she dipped it in paint. That's very fun. Very playful, fun. Jasmine Toux in Sophie Couture. Wow. Very pretty. Gorgeous beading. Sequining? Is that what this is? Wow. So many talented embroiderers worked on pieces for this gala. Ooh, a great shot of Madonna here. Just with her horn. You can see the horn much more clearly here. I just love this look. So interesting. I like her facial expression too as she's wearing it. Kinda looks serious, contemplative. We've got Blake Lively in Archival Versace. This is another one I had written down. I saw a clip of her talking about the look, and if I recall correctly, she said that the dress was archival, but they altered it slightly, and they're going for a watercolor look with all these beautiful, soft, sheer colors in it. And part of why I wrote it down is because I love her earrings here. I love the beautiful, cool toned pink stones in different levels of saturation, and I really love the way they're set with these super thin connectors that look like a slim line that points down and into this upside down teardrop shape, which has a sharpness, so it's like pointing down into a sharp point. And I really like the contrast between the super girly color scheme and that pointed, aggressive, delicately aggressive shape. She also had a very fun purse that was like a little bedazzled bird cage or something. Yeah, very soft and pretty. Wow, this is really pretty. This is Coco Jones in Prabal Gurung. All the lines, the sheer fabric are making so pretty. love her pose and the way in the picture it just adds to the movement. Super pretty. Oh, Anok, yeah, someone else I had written down. Her makeup is so killer. It looks great here, but I think we should look at another picture too. I think she's going for a statue. Look, a metal statue. Let's see. Oh, let's look at it on Google because the images will probably be better. Oh yeah, the hair. Her hair is covered by her hood in most of the pictures, but it's a Medusa-y wig situation. And I think with the way they have highlights on it, it's meant to look like bronze. The way her makeup's done here, I think she's going for that statue look. So she has these tears on her face. When I first saw this makeup look, I wasn't sure if it was drawn on or if it had a 3D element, but it does have a 3D element. It's clear tears attached, probably like with lash glue or something like that. I believe a prosthetic makeup artist made them for her. Yeah, like SFX. And she has these really gold highlights on her face, making her look more metallic. In other pictures I've seen of her, I think her skin undertone is pretty cool. At least that's what I remember. So this super metallic gold highlights are such a fun contrast. Definitely my favorite makeup look. It says here, she did want to be a statue. And she succeeded. Okay, there are a few more from my list that we haven't come across naturally, so let's look them up, starting with Eileen, the Olympian. She had such a fun dress that I think is a new work of art. Let's stay in Google Images. Maybe we click in here. Eileen's look appears to be a collaboration between designer Iris Van Herpen and artistic duo Asusa Murakami and Alexander Groves. Her dress is made of these iridescent glass bubbles, and the dress also blew bubbles while she walked the red carpet. So kind of a collaborative effort that took some engineering. But I saw this on video. I thought it looked great. Very fun. More of a new work of art. It has 15,000 iridescent glass bubbles. So the designer says, considering the theme, I didn't want to express our body from the way we normally perceive it. Its beauty, it's outside. I wanted the dress to inspire people to look at the body from a different perspective, a scientific one also. Got the initial sketch. Really fun. Okay, let's look at a couple more. Okay, maybe not a couple more, just one more. The last one was a little more revealing than I thought it was, so I don't think I can show you it. But this one is safe for YouTube. So Sabrina Carpenter was wearing that awesome film dress made out of film strip on the green carpet, but she also performed, and I really liked this super vibrant pop art Andy Warhol dress she's wearing. So I initially thought it was just Marilyn Monroe, but it looks like we've got Marilyn and Marlon Brando. Let's see. Warhol, Marilyn Monroe. So it certainly looks like his Marilyn Monroe prints. Are these paintings or prints? There's different variations of it, for sure. Yeah, so you can see all the different variations. And then Sabrina's, like there's a pink with yellow hair. That one seemingly maybe. Could be more inspired and not a direct print. But so, did Warhol do some Brando ones too? I only have a very casual knowledge of Andy Warhol. He's kind of purple there. I don't know if that's him. Hard to say, but I did think it was a really fun dress, energetic pop art. Oh, it's James Dean, not Marlon Brando. think her look's my favorite. There were definitely a lot of really good looks. It was a fun theme. Definitely one of my favorites. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope it was relaxing. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And I will see you soon.